In an age where our lives are increasingly mediated by screens, we immerse ourselves in a digital world promising connection, information, and community. But what if this world, so vibrant and bustling, is not what it seems? What if the voices responding to our posts, the trends shaping our feeds, and the content holding our attention are not genuinely human? This unsettling question lies at the heart of a burgeoning, yet often dismissed, phenomenon, the dead internet theory. It suggests that the internet, once a boundless frontier of human interaction, is slowly being overtaken, not by us, but by an intricate web of artificial intelligence and automated systems. The dead internet theory posits that a significant, if not overwhelming, portion of internet activity is now generated by bots, AI, and automated networks, rather than real human beings. This idea, largely circulated in obscure corners of the web since the early 2010s, suggests that organic human interaction has become a minority. Proponents argue that what we perceive as online culture or public discourse is increasingly a curated, synthesized experience designed to manipulate or simply fill space. While dismissed by some as a fringe conspiracy, the rapid advancement of AI and the documented proliferation of bot activity lend an eerie credibility to its core premise. For years, experts have tracked the steady increase in non-human internet traffic. Early analyses, even a decade ago, indicated a substantial portion of web activity wasn't human. This trend has only accelerated with the sophistication of AI and machine learning. Today, these automated systems are not just simple click farms or spam bots, they are capable of generating coherent text, creating realistic images, and even mimicking human speech patterns. What began as a tool for efficiency has evolved into a pervasive presence, blurring the lines between genuine and artificial engagement, fundamentally reshaping our online reality and challenging our perception of digital authenticity. The actual percentage of internet traffic generated by bots varies wildly depending on the source and methodology. While some reports suggest bots account for over 50% of all web traffic, cybersecurity firm Imperva's 2023 Bad Bot report indicated that nearly half of all internet traffic in 2022 was automated, with 30.2% coming from bad bots designed for malicious activities like scraping, spamming, and credential stuffing. Other studies point to even higher figures for specific platforms or types of content. Regardless of the precise number, the consensus among cybersecurity and digital analytics firms is clear: a vast and growing portion of online activity is not human. One of the most visible manifestations of the dead internet theory is the rise of fake influencers. These are often AI-generated personas, complete with elaborate backstories, perfectly curated aesthetics, and legions of bot followers. Companies, eager to tap into the lucrative influencer market, sometimes bypass real humans entirely, opting for synthetic figures that can be entirely controlled. These virtual personalities endorse products, participate in trends, and even engage in conversations entirely manufactured by algorithms. For the unsuspecting user, distinguishing a genuine human from an AI construct becomes increasingly difficult, eroding trust in online recommendations. Beyond influencers, AI is now a prolific content creator itself. Large language models can produce articles, blog posts, and even entire novels with startling speed and coherence. Generative AI tools craft realistic images, deepfake videos, and synthetic audio that are almost indistinguishable from human-made content. This deluge of AI-generated media floods platforms, making it harder for original human content to stand out. It raises questions about authorship, originality, and the value of human creativity when machines can replicate it infinitely. The internet, once a canvas for human expression, risks becoming a vast repository of algorithmically optimized output. Beneath the surface of seemingly organic online activity lie coordinated bot farms. These are sophisticated networks of automated accounts, often numbering in the thousands, designed to push specific narratives, manipulate public opinion, or amplify certain messages. From political propaganda during elections to commercial campaigns promoting products, bot farms can create an artificial sense of consensus or outrage. They inundate platforms with repetitive messages, trending hashtags, and fabricated support, effectively drowning out dissenting voices or genuine public sentiment. The objective is not just to spread information, but to distort the perception of its prevalence. Social media trends, often perceived as spontaneous surges of collective interest, can now be meticulously engineered. Bot networks can artificially inflate engagement metrics, likes, shares, comments, for specific topics or hashtags, making them appear far more popular or important than they actually are. This manipulation can propel trivial content to viral status or inject niche ideologies into mainstream discourse. For marketers, it means instant virality. For political actors, it means shaping the national conversation. The average user, scrolling through their feed, might unknowingly be observing a trend that was never organically generated by a human community. The proliferation of AI and bots is further exacerbated by the very algorithms designed to personalize our online experience. These algorithms, seeking to maximize engagement, often amplify content that generates strong reactions, regardless of its authenticity. When bots flood platforms with sensational or polarizing content, algorithms learn to prioritize similar material. This creates a feedback loop, or an echo chamber, where artificial narratives gain traction, pushing genuine, nuanced human voices to the periphery. Users are then trapped in a filter bubble, consuming a skewed version of reality shaped by automated interactions, reinforcing the illusion of a dead internet. One of the most insidious forms of bot activity involves generating fake comments, reviews, and engagement. Imagine a product with thousands of glowing reviews, many written by AI. Or a political post with a flood of seemingly supportive comments. This manufactured consensus can sway public opinion, influence purchasing decisions, and validate extremist views. It becomes nearly impossible to gauge genuine sentiment or identify legitimate criticism. The sheer volume of artificial feedback can overwhelm real human voices, creating an environment where dissent appears isolated and support for any given idea seems overwhelming, even when it's entirely fabricated. The omnipresence of artificial interaction takes a significant psychological toll. When every online encounter is potentially suspect, users become wary, distrustful, and disengaged. The joy of genuine connection is replaced by paranoia. This erosion of trust extends beyond individual interactions. It permeates our belief in shared online spaces as authentic reflections of humanity. The constant ambiguity, not knowing if you're talking to a person or a program, can lead to feelings of isolation, cynicism, and ultimately, a disinterest in engaging online altogether, further hollowing out the human presence that the theory claims is already diminishing. The dead internet theory, if true, outlines a terrifying new form of propaganda. Instead of merely presenting biased information, it demonstrates how the very fabric of public discourse can be artificially manufactured. By controlling trends, amplifying specific narratives with bot farms, and creating fake consensus through generated comments, powerful actors can steer public opinion without direct human input. This goes beyond traditional media manipulation, it's the manipulation of the perceived collective will. The democratic process itself could be undermined if the will of the people expressed online is largely synthetic, crafted by algorithms and automated accounts. The impact on consumer behavior is equally profound. From product reviews to viral marketing campaigns, bots and AI are deployed to influence purchasing decisions. Fake positive reviews can propel a mediocre product to bestseller status, while coordinated negative attacks can sink a competitor. AI-driven recommendation engines, already influencing what we buy, are increasingly fed by a diet of artificial engagement, further distorting the market. Shoppers, believing they are making informed choices based on popular products or authentic feedback, may instead be succumbing to a sophisticated system of automated persuasion, controlled not by genuine market forces, but by unseen algorithms. Perhaps most disturbingly, the dead internet scenario can foster the rapid growth of online cults and echo chambers of misinformation. When algorithms amplify sensational, often conspiratorial, content, and bot farms then flood these narratives with fabricated support, isolated individuals can quickly feel like they are part of a vast, validated movement. The consensus they perceive is largely artificial, yet deeply convincing. These environments, devoid of genuine external critique, become fertile ground for extreme ideologies to flourish, attracting real humans who mistake the bot-generated echo for widespread acceptance and truth, further isolating them from reality. Detecting bots and AI-generated content is an increasingly difficult task, often described as a constant game of cat and mouse. As platforms develop more sophisticated detection methods, bot creators respond with more advanced camouflage techniques. AI models are trained to mimic human writing styles, incorporate slang, and even simulate typos or grammatical errors to appear more authentic. Deepfake technology allows for realistic video and audio manipulation that can fool even trained eyes. This arms race means that the internet's gatekeepers are always a step behind, struggling to keep pace with the ever-evolving sophistication of artificial entities. Recognizing the pervasive threat, major tech companies and cybersecurity firms are investing heavily in combating bot activity. Platforms like X, Meta, and Google deploy advanced machine learning algorithms to identify and remove automated accounts, often shutting down millions of suspicious profiles annually. Tools for content authentication and origin verification are also being developed, aiming to provide users with indicators of whether content is AI-generated. However, the sheer volume and sophistication of the problem mean these efforts are often reactive, patching vulnerabilities as they emerge, rather than proactively stemming the tide. In an internet potentially dominated by artificial intelligence, the human element becomes more crucial than ever. It demands a heightened level of critical thinking from every user. We must question the source of information, analyze engagement metrics with skepticism, and actively seek out diverse perspectives beyond our algorithmic feeds. Engaging directly with individuals, fostering real-world communities, and valuing authentic, if imperfect, human interaction are vital. The responsibility now falls on us to discern reality from artifice, to cultivate a media literacy that allows us to navigate a digital landscape increasingly populated by convincing fakes. The dead internet theory remains a contentious idea. For many, it's a compelling, albeit bleak, vision of our digital future, supported by observable trends in bot activity and AI capabilities. For others, it's a fringe conspiracy, an overreaction that exaggerates the problem and dismisses the vast amount of genuine human creativity and interaction still thriving online. Skeptics argue that while bots are a nuisance, they haven't yet reached a point of overwhelming human presence. However, both sides agree on one thing: the internet is changing, and the line between human and machine is becoming increasingly blurred, forcing us to re-evaluate our digital trust. What does this mean for the future of our online interactions? Will the internet become a predominantly automated landscape, a playground for algorithms and bots, with humans as mere observers or, worse, targets? Or will we find new ways to authenticate our presence, to carve out spaces where genuine human connection can truly flourish? The answers will shape not just our digital lives, but our understanding of reality, trust, and community in an increasingly technologically mediated world. The challenge is immense, requiring constant vigilance, critical engagement, and a renewed commitment to the human spirit in the digital age. The dead internet theory, once a niche thought experiment, now feels like a chilling possibility. We live in a world where the majority of internet content might be machine-generated, where our digital interactions could be with sophisticated code, and where our opinions are silently shaped by unseen algorithms. The internet promised to connect us all, to create a global village. But if the villagers are mostly digital specters, mimicking life, then what kind of community have we built? The question lingers: in this vast, shimmering expanse of data and information, are we truly alone, surrounded by the echoes of artificial life?